You know, my background is in sports. I'm a sports psychologist, and I've coached 8 Olympic teams, and I was an All-American swimmer, and I remember, you know, I always used to think, man, you got to outwork the next guy. And I remember an event that was like an epiphany. It totally changed my thinking about winning in this competitive environment. And that event was in the 1968 Olympic Games, and it was the high jump. And the way they used to jump in the old days was called the Western roll. And the Western roll looked like this. You run, 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 like that. Well, it didn't look like that. No. I'm watching these guys, and then I watch this one guy, and he's running, 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 running. And last minute, instead of going like that, he goes head first backwards. And I thought, oh, where did they get this guy from? Is this some kind of circus clown they snuck in? Anybody remember his name? Dick Fosbury, right. What did he do? He challenged the old way of thinking. And you know, when I talked to Fosbury many years later, I said, how come you got that idea? And he said, you know, everything was changing in our sport. He said the landing pit used to be like, you know, a little softer than that, but not much, so you had to be careful of what you landed on. Now it was this big, soft, foam rubber, cushy thing that was kind of fun to land on. So he said that changed. He said the equipment we had changed. The sneakers had more spring. The takeoff mat was easy. You get more grip. You know, it's all kinds of changes. So he said when I was thinking about that, I realized, hey, with all these changes, maybe there's a better way to get over the bar. So he experimented and he tried new things. And he eventually came up with the flop and set the world record, won the gold medal. You know the interesting thing about Fosbury, which it's relative to you guys, is he was already #1 in the world when he did that. You see, that's how winners think. That's how winners think. They don't just rest on their laurels. They use their laurels as a springboard to just catapult them to the next level. And you know, that's happened in many athletes have done the same thing. How about Michael Phelps? What did he do after he won, 11 gold medals or 8 gold medals in swimming? You know what he did when he got home? Aside from taking a couple of hits. He changed his stroke. Changed his stroke. And somebody asked him why. He said, you know, I was thinking around aerodynamic, you know, something like that. Changed the game. But what did they do? They all challenged the old ways of thinking. And there's hundreds of stories like that. They challenged the old way of thinking. They created the change in their game, so they were the ones that are out in front.